Hello, happy Saturday. Welcome to Little Sister Chalks. I'm Luana and I'm so glad you're here. Today we are doing a fall banner that you can hang on a mantle or a table, off the edge of a table. Could probably put it outside, although I'm using paste today, not ink, so I can't heat set it and make it permanent. Don't anticipate washing it, but suppose if you did ink and heat set it, you could put it outside and it would last. So I just want to show you, I did one pennant last night just to test out the gel stain. So we've partnered with Dixie Belle, and I wanted to see how the gel stain looked on fabric, and I kind of love it. I don't know if you guys can see, it just gives it, that little bit of aging. And this guy actually could go on a Halloween one as well, which I want to do, but I might just have to do another one. So I did one piece last night, and then I want to show you the things we're going to use, and then we'll just get into it. So Chalk Couture had a banner kit for the 4th of July. It was a patriotic one, and you get a stencil with it. They gave ink, a squeegee, I believe, a color tray, and then 12 of the pennants, twine, and then a little needle to help you kind of thread everything through. And I'm going to use about half of the pennants today. I think you could use the patterns, so the stripes and this one, whatever that you would call that. I think you could use that probably for any season or holiday. I'm not going to use the stencil that came with it. So I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to leave out the twine and stuff because I may try to string a few things together. And like I said, I'm going to use about half of the pennants because I want to put fabric scraps. So I've got a bunch of fall inspired colored fabric scraps, and then I've got beads. So the brown ones, which I have the most of, so that's likely what I'll use, but I also have the natural. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to tilt you down so you can see what I'm doing. And we'll get started. That's pretty good. I think you can see pretty well there. So the next one I was thinking, and let me grab an ink mat because holding these down is probably a good idea. So the ink mat's sticky, and it will hold your fabric down. And I'm going to move these as well because they're in my way. And I'm going to put the pennant down and just lay it flat, make sure there's no wrinkles. And then I'm going to decide which stencils I want to use. So I've got a variety of fall colors. What's your favorite fall color? Hopefully I put it in the design. Mine is probably orange. I think I want to use this mushroom. I'm debating about using a portion of the sunflower. Maybe, I don't know. I think from this stencil we used last week, I think I want to use the pumpkin and the leaf again. This one I was thinking maybe the acorn. And then I've got some words. I've got this this little wagon with apples. I thought that would be cute. And I've got leaves are falling, autumn is calling. Or I could fit like this much of this one that says autumn shows us how beautiful it is to let things go. I think I might like this one a little bit better. I don't know. We'll see. We'll I'll do some. I won't do them all. And then we'll maybe put some together and start to string and come back so you could see the final thing tomorrow. So if you hop on while I'm live, I'm trying to watch for comments, questions, so please feel free to drop those in. If you catch the replay, let me know that too. But right now, it is fall outside here, or it feels like it's only like 66 degrees, and that's a little chilly for August, what are we, August 10th? Yeah. So I'm not liking it. I'm running out of time to be in the pool, so I really would like some warm weather. What's it like where you are? Say hello. Let me know where you are and what your weather's like this morning. And tell me your favorite fall color, because I hope I put some of that in here today. All right, I love this mushroom, so I'm doing this next. And let me know what you think about the aging. I didn't want to do it on every single pennant, but I really kind of like it. I would love to know what you think. Maybe I should have figured out which ones I wanted to do the aging with. Maybe the one with the words, because I can show you that, how I did that. All right, we'll just do a couple. We'll see what happens. All right. I am going to do red and espresso, or not red, but saucy. It's kind of a reddish, rusty color from last year. So we're going to start there. I may have to get up and wash some things because I'm going to run out of tools I like to use. All right, I'm going to do the top of the mushroom in this rusty color. And my arm's going to stick to this mat the whole time. You can hear that, I bet. Have you guys started thinking about fall and decorating? It's everywhere in the stores, of course. We went to Hobby Lobby yesterday. And, you know, I get it with the stores that are crafting. You got to start early. But everybody else has it out already, too. I really do love summer, but I have to say fall decorating is so fun. Next to Christmas, it's probably my favorite. All right, come on. I just want to get right there. Okay, and I'm just making sure that I can see the fabrics covered, and I think I might have mentioned I'm using chalk paste today, not chalk ink, or not, yeah, ink. I don't anticipate washing this, so I think that'll be fine. And I wanted the variety of colors. We don't have nearly as many colors in ink as we do paste, so using a little creative license here. Mushrooms are such a big trend right now, and they're so cute. I bought a little pillow at Hobby Lobby, a little mushroom. I have pumpkins for my couch for the fall, and I have a pillow on my dining room bench that has mushrooms and things on it, so I thought it would go quite well, and it was adorable. And I think I'm going to try and get away with just the squeegee on the espresso. So espresso is a autumn 24 en vogue color, so it's really a seasonal. They call them en vogue. Saucy, I believe, was one of last year's colors. So if you like some of the colors, grab them. They last quite a long time. You don't need a lot to do projects, and they do last. And my Perks members can get them at 30% off. So hello, Perks members. I love you. If you want more info on Perks, drop Perks in the comments, and I will get you some info. It's really an awesome program. And chalk is a wonderful craft medium to add really to anything you do. Lots of people make quilting squares using fabric and stencils and ink. You can use it on cards, so paper crafting. So many options. This is taking longer than I thought it would take. I guess when you got the little details, though, that's the hard part. almost done with this one. And we'll do probably a couple more. And then move on to putting things together. And then I will finish offline and show you the finished product, hopefully tomorrow. So stick with me. I hope you jump on, say hello, whether live or the replay. All right, that looks pretty good. And then I'm going to peel slow because you can always go back and hit spots that may have not gone all the way through, like that one. Although it's hard upside down to see what's going on. I should have peeled from the bottom. Oh, so cute. Pick that up a little bit so you can see. Yeah, it's upside down, but I'm notorious for sticking my fingers in it, so I don't want to move it around too much. All right, I'm going to set this aside. I will clean that when we're done. I'll do one more, and I will do, I'm going to move this more out of the way. There we go. Okay, so again, I'm just putting this down, making sure there's no wrinkles. I'm going to close these guys up. So the first thing I'm going to do on this one is do the little aging with the gel stain. And I'm sticking to the mat. All right, so here it is. It's Dixie Belle gel stain. This is tobacco. We have a smoke and a natural color as well. I'm going to shake that up. And I didn't use a lot, which actually I don't know how this little thing works because I didn't use it yesterday, so I'm going to open it like I did just to be consistent. And then, so I've opened the top, I've taken off the cover, and then I'm just going to take a little bit on this cloth, and then I'm just going to start putting it around the edges. Start with a small amount because you can always go back and add more. You cannot take away. And then I'm just going to kind of rub it in. It's a little streaky. Just come around. Maybe if I do some circles, it'll be better. This isn't meant for fabric, but I thought, hey, why not? Let's give it a try. It's meant for wood, and it gives wood the aging look as well, but I kind of wanted to see how it was going to look here. All right, so that's it. I just needed a little dab. I'm going to close this up so I don't spill it, because I could see myself doing that. All right, and then of course I put that crooked on the thing. I'm going to use the Autumn, shows us how beautiful it is to let things go. And because we're using fabric, I do not need to fuzz, so I'm just going to take the backer off, and then I'm going to position and then bring it down just a smidge. I don't like the stencil on the ink mat. Just always afraid it's gonna stick too hard and then I'm gonna ruin the stencil. So I'm gonna do that on that side, and then maybe just one. it's not open over here. Okay. Then I'm going to press down, make sure there's no bubbles. And then I'm going to decide on colors. That looks straight to me. I think we need some green. And maybe some gold. I think a little bit of orange. I should have left the saucy open because I think I might like that. I don't know about gold. Maybe the yellow. What should I do the words in? I don't know if the gold will show up great. I think I'm going to use espresso for the words. And what I'll probably do is do the words, lift up, so that doesn't dry on top on me. If I was fancy, I would switch colors on the letters. I'm not that fancy, and that takes a lot of time. So, let's see. And I think I'm going to do the marbling down here, debating if I want to use my finger because then I'm going to have to get up and wash my hands. Oh boy, that's really sticking. Holy cow. Maybe I should have fuzzed. Holy cow. I've not had this happen. You know what? I don't know. Wow. Okay. It's a little got a little bleedy. I'm gonna dry this a little bit. Wow, I've never had that like stick so hard. I was gonna say maybe it's the gel, but it didn't do it on the owl last night. I see little spots I need to go back and do, but I'll do that later. I don't like the bleeding, but it is what it is. Alright, let's see. So I'm just gonna do that. Yeah, I don't know. I may use my finger just because I like it better. And I need a couple of these guys. So I'm just going to take a little bit of my colors and just put them around. So I've got the green, which I think is pesto. Yep. I've got Hey Pumpkin, which I think was one of last year's in Vogue as well. And I don't want a whole lot of yellow. That looks good. I'm going to do a little bit of, no, this is papaya. I don't want that. Really don't have that much more room. I'm just going to use the saucy. And since I have this, I'll just use this. Okay. And then I'm going to take my finger and just rub it around, and I'm going to make sure that's probably too much yellow. A little bit more green. It's got to be nice and loose to rub in. I'm going to make sure I get over here on the edges. Alright, we're just going to stick my fingers in. Yeah, you know, was always very anal about mixing my colors, and during our convention, they had sessions where designers were doing different projects, and they were just sticking their squeegees in all the different paste colors, and I kind of am trying to get over it and just be a little less weird about it. It still kind of freaks me out. All right, I think that's gonna be good. Let's see if I have trouble lifting this guy up too. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm gonna have to go back and fix with like a Q-tip or something. I have not had anything stick that hard to fabric before. All right, let me wash my fingers. Like, give me 2 seconds. Uh-oh, my stencil fell. Alright, so hopefully you get the idea. You can do whatever stencil designs, whatever colors you want. Totally up to you. I am going to close up my pastes, and then we'll look at putting pieces of it together. I can get my jars closed. This is really blowing my mind how hard that stencil is sticking. Wow. All right, so I'm going to set these guys aside. I think this might be dry. The mushrooms. Yeah, I think those might be dry. So I'm going to set those aside. I'm going to push these over. Now I have not. Where did I put? There it is. I've not played with this little needle. I'm guessing you put an end, tie an end, and then you start threading it through. Fancy. All these fancy things. Let's see if I can undo it. It's not doing it. Here we go. Yes? No. There we go. So the kit comes with this stuff, which is awesome. I love our kits. You get everything you need to make a finished project. But as crafters, I know you probably have a ton of your own supplies, because we all do. We buy more things than we need. I mentioned we went to Hobby Lobby yesterday. I bought stuff. Okay, so like I said, I've got more of the brown, but I also have some of the natural. I don't know if I should. They're different sizes, I think. So I'm going with brown, but let me know, which would you rather have on yours? Is this right? Yeah, I guess so. And then I gotta find the other end, right? And make a knot over here. Is that gonna go right through? Yes. So make a double knot. I'm working off camera, sorry. Making a double knot, because that I'm going to start with a bead. That's still not enough. Triple. Third time's the charm, let's hope. Suppose I could have started with fabric and then I would have had that trouble. Okay, I think that's all right. So maybe I'll do 2 beads, 2 beads, 3 beads, I don't know. So here's what I'm going to try. No, the bead doesn't work with this thing. So this will be handy for the pennant, I'm sure. Best laid plans. If I was smart, I would have started this last night too. Okay. What do we think? 2 beads? I think so. 2 beads. And then I'm going to do a fabric scrap. Are these too long? I think they are. So maybe I'll cut them in half. Where are my scissors? Don't know. So I'll use these. And I'm just going to tie Should I do tie or should I do... Now you're just watching me be fussy. Let's see if I do this. Not easy to do on twine because it's moving everywhere on me. What do we think? That? Yeah, I think so. I think just one. I was gonna do a couple, but maybe one's enough. All right, now, where's my handy dandy end again? Do a loose knot. I threaded my twine back through the needle. To a loose knot, and then I'm gonna come through. Yeah, okay, so the needle's nice for the pennant. That is very helpful. And then another piece of scrap. Let's see. I don't want orange again. Green? No, this one. I like this one. So, had I been smart, I would have done some of this last night. So then I knew what sizes things needed to be. I knew how to use the crazy needle. But that's okay. All right, so I think I went this way. And 3 knots is still not enough for the beads. I'm pulling on it and it's coming undone. Not undone, but it's going over. So I may just hot glue that end or something. All right, so we have that. Try to make that a little tighter. This is hard to do on the twine. And then I'm going to get all these little fabric threads off when I'm done. I'm going to do 2 more beads. And then maybe I'll thread through the mushroom and then let you guys enjoy your weekend. So note to self, start with fabric so that you don't have the bead problem at the end. I should look for a big, like, needle with a big eye that'll fit twine that'll go through these. So I'm gonna run out of twine if I'm gonna have to cut the ends because they're fraying. All right. Two of those. What do you guys think so far? Let me know. Then I'm gonna do the mushrooms, so I'm gonna do this again. So going through the needle, just making a little loose knot because I have to keep taking it on and off because of the beads. But like I said, if I find a regular needle that's big, I could probably do both things. All right. And then there's a little spot here. So if you don't want to buy a kit, you can make your own pennants. Like, if you want the measurements of these, I can give them to you, and then you just cut your own fabric, flip it on the back. You don't even have to sew. I would glue it because I don't sew. Would love to learn one day, but. All right, and a piece of fabric. What do we think? Green again, maybe? No, I didn't use green yet. What do we think of green? And then you just kind of go with the colors you like and piece things together. Definitely does not have to be perfect. Alright. I'm gonna loop that over, come through the back. Wonder if I taped this down on one side, at least it would hold it still for me while I tied this. There we go. Started. We have beads and fabric and pennants and beads. What do you think? Let me know. I would love to hear ideas, opinions, thoughts. Do you like it? Do you not like it? All right. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Happy Saturday. I'll see you next week. Bye.